Welcome, and thanks for joining us on our sixth installment in this series in the Songs of Degrees. If you were with us last time, you'll notice we left off in Psalm 121 and verse 2, which says, "My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth." This devotion is going to be called, "I Am My Brother's Keeper." We're going to look at the rest of this psalm if we can, so let's just read it and get into it. Verse 3 of Psalm 121 says, "He will not suffer your foot to be moved. He that keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he that keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade upon your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, or the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore." The first thing I want to look at here is the switching of these pronouns here. This is the first time in the Songs of Degrees he's switched to a second person, where now that we know our help comes from the Lord and our soul has been delivered from death, our view goes outward. This is the proper progression of things, and it's an important and necessary step. The view goes out towards others. And so, first of all, we are our brother's keeper. Cain asked that question to the Lord, "Am I my brother's keeper?" And a lot of people have asked that in the ages since. And the answer is yes. We are responsible for those around us. We're responsible for those in our family and for those in the family of God, to watch out for them, to encourage them. And what he does here is the first thing, he switches, and he now, instead of speaking about himself and his relationship with the Lord, he says, "He, the Lord, will not allow your foot to be moved." So let's encourage each other. That's what he turns to. He wants to encourage other people. And once we deal with the Lord and with ourselves as individuals, we're supposed to turn towards helping others. Now, what does he say here about the Lord that's going to be an encouragement? First of all, he uses this word, the keeper, 3 times. The Lord is the one who keeps you. He will not allow your foot to be moved. Now, this idea, what does it mean, he will not allow your foot to be moved? Well, in Psalm 56 verse 13 and Psalm 116 verse 8, this idea is mentioned again. I'll just read 56 and 13. It says, "You've delivered my soul from death. Will you not also deliver my feet from falling, so I may walk before God in the light of the living?" So the idea here is that your feet have to do with your walk before God. And it says, He will not allow your foot to be moved. As long as you are pointed towards the Lord and you're seeking Him, He will not allow you to fall. This idea is continued in Ephesians chapter 6, when it tells us to stand, to be wearing the armor of God and to stand therefore. It means to continue, to stay going forward. And the Lord will not allow us to fall. He's the one who preserves us. That's the next thing he mentions. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. He shall preserve your going out and your coming in, even forevermore. This is one of the great principles of the Christian life, is that we have to come to understand that all of the things that are crucial, all the things that are really important for our life, for our salvation, the Lord has left up to Himself. It's not our job to preserve ourselves. There's this idea going around, the perseverance of the saints, it's called, that if we continue on to the end, it all stems from a misinterpreted verse in Matthew chapter 24, that he who endures to the end shall be saved. And we don't understand who that's talking about and what it's referring to. We can have this idea, if we can only cling to God good enough, if we can only continue good enough to follow Him, perhaps we could be saved. But why would God make His promise of everlasting life to people who could never have earned it in the first place, conditional on something that they continue to do? Well, the answer is he hasn't. It says in Philippians 1 verse 6 that he who has begun a good work in you will continue working on it until the day of Jesus Christ. God continues his work in us and he brings it to completion, is the idea in that verse. He's the one who preserves us. We don't persevere ourselves. He keeps us. And it says he doesn't sleep. Now this is amazing to me, because we have this tendency to think that, especially as people, we like to try and control everything. And whenever we can't control everything, we have a hard time sleeping because we worry about stuff and we are trying to get everything under control in life. But he says, God doesn't sleep. This is something we have to remember. God doesn't stop working. In John 5:17 it says, the Father works until now and I work. And then in John chapter 16 he goes on and speaks about the work of the Holy Spirit. How he's gone out into the world to convince people of sin and righteousness and the coming judgment. And we're not going to go into all that, but this idea, if we could remember that God is working, that when we go to sleep, God doesn't go to sleep. He continues to work. He continues to protect us and to preserve us from evil, to preserve us in our walk with him, and to preserve us in our soul. Our salvation is secure because the one who ensures it is God. See, the reason that we can have confidence of eternal life is not by what we've done. It's that the covenant is between the Father and the Son, and the Lord Jesus did a perfect job on the cross. It is finished, he said. There's one more thing we're going to look at today before this is a big chunk we went through. But one thing I just want to finish with, the title of this is going to be, I Am My Brother's Keeper. And there's a neat little statement in Hebrews chapter 2 we're going to look at briefly. And we're going to see something special about the Lord Jesus that's a blessing to me. In Hebrews chapter 2, he says, for this reason he is not ashamed to call them brethren or family. Jesus is not ashamed to call us family because he has been made a man like we are. He's not ashamed to call us family. And not only are we our brother's keeper, are we to look out for one another, we have someone far greater, someone who is looking out for us every moment of every day, all the time when we're sleeping. The Lord is looking out for us. Jesus is taking care of us. He's promised he will, and he does. He is his brother's keeper, and he's not ashamed to call us brethren. And that is something we can be encouraged about, something we can encourage our fellow believers with, that the Lord is our keeper, the Lord preserves us, and he doesn't sleep. He doesn't grow weary, he doesn't faint. The Bible says he will not fail or be discouraged. Every one of us is prone to these things, but not our God. Not our God and our Savior. May the Lord bless you.